Hey there! After what happened with Charlie Kirk this last month, some conservatives are already taking their shots criticizing colleges and are literally on the road to purge teachers all across the country as we speak right now. And mind you, these are the same people who were apparently worried about cancel culture, First Amendment, and freedom of speech. More on the purging teachers part. This is happening when there is already a huge shortage of teachers in this country. Being a teacher is hard. You have to deal with abysmal pay and working conditions while conservatives demonize you every day. This whole contradiction of criticizing the education system while also picking on teachers who are being paid like crap is just insane to me. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, glad you could come. American education system is undeniably failing and will continue to fail unless new drastic actions are taken. And according to conservatives and Republicans, it seems to be purging teachers because of the things they apparently tweeted. The whole ordeal with Republicans and education is proven by the fact that this comes a few weeks after Trump threatened to defund federal money to a number of universities, including Harvard, Princeton, and University of California. Because according to this administration, these colleges are breeding grounds for anti-Semitism, which in simple words refers to the fact that students in these campuses are criticizing Israel for its genocidal actions in Gaza, while the US government actively funds in these actions. But what drives this genuine skepticism of college education and academia in general among a lot of Republicans? If you ask one, then there is a good chance they will mention about how elitist colleges are and are overwhelmingly leftist and hostile to any Republican thought. This is one of the reasons why Republicans love shows like Charlie Kirk, Stephen Crowder, and Ben Shapiro, where they destroy liberal college students. These videos reaffirm their views on college education in general being a leftist cesspool. Now, before you accuse me of anything, I'm not claiming that there is not a left-leaning biases in most colleges. I actually agree that college education actually encourages leftist thinking because that's the whole point of colleges. That is, to find new ways to think on how the world around you should operate, to interact with different people who come from different social and economic backgrounds. That's literally the whole point of colleges. Do colleges encourage leftist thinking? Yes. Do colleges force down leftist views down your throat and oppress you? No, there are conservatives and pro-establishment people in colleges who live their lives normally and are not oppressed like some conservatives claim. In fact, I would argue conservatism is rising among college campuses and conservative thoughts are becoming more popular because of people like Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk. In fact, while writing the script for this video, I was forced to look and re-examine my own views, and I admit that elitism is a thing in college campuses, and it's hard to deny that. If you have a college degree, then you are bound to have an elitist view of yourself over someone who doesn't have one. Now, the degree of elitism really depends on what kind of a person you are and what colleges you went to, but I think it's fair to say that elitism is a real thing. What ends up happening is that people who do not have a college degree or even a high school degree feel rejected or feel like they are worth less in the eyes of the modern world, which ends up making them more prone to having simplistic and conservative ways of thinking. America is a very divided country between the cities and the more rural parts, and the tension is very real. One of the reasons why Trump was elected was because of insecurity and rebellion against the college-educated class, which a lot of people thought was out of touch with the world.
He's standing for things of God. The abortion thing, 65 million aborted babies. America, career, comfort, and convenience, okay? Because the Supreme Court would say, that's a right. The people of faith in this country, I think, support Trump because he's the first president that spoke at the March for Life.
But let me tell you, this problem is way deeper than it actually seems on the surface and has to do a lot with demographic changes and our economic priorities. And the bad news is that things will continue to accelerate in the future for the worse. According to data, undergraduate enrollment has started to decline from this year. In short, we are having a demographic cliff where the number of people enrolling in colleges will decline due to fertility crisis that we see today. According to data, colleges which will be most affected due to lower college enrollment rates are lower-ranked colleges which are already underfunded. Meanwhile, top-ranked colleges will always have a large number of students willing to enroll in them. The regions most affected by these trends of lower enrollment will primarily be felt in the northeastern states, as that's where the highest density of colleges are. In fact, New York has about 181 colleges, out of which half of the colleges have less than 1,000 students. According to statistics, there are about 42 million people in the United States who have started colleges but have never actually finished. That's an awful lot of people, and every single person represents something deeper, a potential and a lost opportunity. So what does it mean going in the future? The American government have a few choices on how to tackle the issue: try to reduce the college fees and ease student debt, or do nothing. And it's pretty clear by now what path they're choosing to take. For other countries, this would mean a lesser talent pool for the future and less innovations. But just like every other thing, it has exceptions, and America happens to be a huge exception in this regard. America has always been a land of immigrants, and it attracts a lot of talented people from around the world, and international students are a part of that. So you can see where I'm going with this. I predict the number of international students will increase in the near future, but this will cause a lot of problems. If you are aware of the current state of the world, then you must be pretty sure immigrants and outsiders are not really welcome anymore in the Western world due to a multitude of reasons. But the point is that there is a big contradiction at play here. Declining talent pool would call for more immigration or risk falling behind in innovations from countries like China. But you cannot call for more immigration in this political background, or you risk massive political backlash. Regardless of your views on immigration and international students, it remains a fact that international students in this day and age are treated as cash cows. You can see this all over the world, especially in countries like Canada, with what is happening with the case of Indian students, the United Kingdom and Australia. Students spending thousands of dollars in private universities in hopes of getting an education and finding a job in the country itself. You might call it a loophole or trickery of getting into a country, but instead of being angry at students who are being exploited, I think your time would be more well spent targeting these institutions themselves who are financially exploiting these young students. America is at a crossroads as of now. Its global position in the world stage is falling apart in front of our own eyes. It either will turn more isolationist, but the problem with that is that the whole existence of modern day America is heavily tied to globalism and world trade. That's one of the perks or burdens that comes with being a superpower. America cannot retreat into isolation like it did in the early 1900s. Even Trump, who is supposedly an isolationist like most people claim, who will keep America out of war, isn't doing his job very well. One thing most people from the left and right can agree upon is that the investment to profit ratio for college education is completely broken. Degrees cost tens of thousands of dollars when you have really no guarantee of finding a job because the job market is absolutely abysmal at this point. So what exactly is a college degree worth for? To sustain yourself and give yourself a better life, that's looking impossible. A home, that's definitely impossible. A family, that's gone too. What is left is humiliation for the average young person entering the world, and we all know having a bunch of angry, radicalized young people in a country leads to no real good. And we are seeing the results today with political radicalization, like what happened in Utah. Unless we reform our views on what college education is supposed to be like and radically fix the job market, things will continue to get worse. What are your thoughts on college education? Do you think that education system can be reformed, or does it have to be overhauled dramatically? Let me know down below, and till then, take care and see you guys next time.